Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and today I'll be taking you through some full body intervals. So for equipment today, it's just going to be body weight movements. If you want to have a mat underneath you to make you a little bit more comfortable when we do some of our core work, feel free to do that. But for our warm-up, we're going to do 3 rounds for 30 seconds of each movement. First movement is just going to be jumping jacks. So we're going to hop the feet out, arms together and overhead. Modification would just be stepping the feet out, making a little bit lower impact on the knees. Next movement, we're going to be doing air squats. So here, the key is to keep the chest high, core nice and tight. We're going to have the feet about shoulder width apart, toes slightly out, send the hips back and the knees out, and then using the glutes to come up. So we're just coming down, up, nice, slow, and controlled movements. Modification, instead of coming all the way down, we're just going to come down into a quarter squat here, rather than going all the way down. And our last movement is going to be a plank with shoulder taps. So first option is to take this against the wall and just tap the shoulders here. Next option, we can take it down into the plank position, but we're going to drop down to the knees. So we're trying to make a straight line from the head to the knees here. And just shifting slightly, nice, slow, and controlled movements, just tapping the shoulders, getting that upper body nice and awake. And then our final modification, coming up onto the feet and just tapping here. So that'll be our warm-up. We don't have any rest in the warm-up, so these should just be nice, slow, and controlled movements, trying to get our body ready. This is not the workout itself, we're just trying to prepare the body to move. So this should not be as fast as you can possibly go right now, but we should be working up to that. So again, 3 rounds of the 3 movements, 30 seconds for each movement. Let's go ahead and get started with those jumping jacks in 3, 2, 1. Key here is we also want to stay nice and light on our feet. We don't want to be slamming down if you are adding the hopping. Okay, halfway. And right into those air squats. So no rest in between. This means we want to make our transitions fairly quick. For these movements, take them as fast or as slow as you want to. This is just the warm-up. And even throughout the day today, go at your own pace, but make sure it's a pace that's going to challenge you. Five seconds left, and then we're going to that plank. So for me, for this first round, I'm going to go on my knees just to kind of warm up the body a little bit more. You can do the same. You can do a different modification. It is up to you. We're just going to warm up the body slowly here. 15 seconds left. And then we're starting at the top with our jumping jacks. 3, 2, 1. Let's transition. Nice work. Maybe see in these next 2 rounds, pick up the pace a little bit as we progress, as our body starts to warm up. In 3, 2, 1, air squats. Again, we want to keep the chest nice and high here. We don't want to be falling over. We only want to go as low as we can while still keeping a nice flat back. 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Down to the planks. Making sure we're engaging the core here. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the quads. 10 seconds. Should be starting to feel a little bit warmer here. And up. Last round of jumping jacks. Here we go. Nice work, over halfway. And 3, 2, 1, air squats. Should be feeling really warm here. Maybe play with picking up the speed a little bit or picking up the depth in your squat. Seconds left. And transition. Last movement of our warm-up. If you want, you always have the option to just hold this plank for the last round. You want to target the core a little bit more. 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, nice job. Stretch out anything you want to. Maybe get the quads. Maybe get a few arm circles in. Just keep your body moving while I go over kind of what our plan's gonna look like for today. And if you feel like you've had enough rest, feel free, let's start doing some jumping jacks again. Let's keep moving, let's keep the heart rate up. So for today, gonna be a little bit different than I usually do. So I have 2 main blocks that are each gonna be 3 rounds each. However, in between each round, I have a little 1 minute of abs in between every round for us that'll stay consistent throughout the 2 blocks. So I'll focus on the first block, go over our movements for that, go over the ab movements for in between each round, then we'll take a 1 minute break while I go over the movements for our second block. Again, we have those abs in between each round. This is a full body workout today. And then we have a surprise at the end, is that we're doing it all over again. However, this time instead of doing the abs, we'll be just doing a 1 minute break at the end of the 3 rounds in between the 2 blocks. So it'll make more sense as we get into it, but the first time through the 3 rounds for each block, we have abs. The second time through is just gonna be the blocks. So our first block, we have skaters, T push-ups, burpees, and a wall sit. So we're gonna meet this mat for those movements. So the skaters, you're gonna start on one side, slight bend in the knee, we're gonna push off, land on the other side. You can either choose to keep the back leg up, or you can use it to come down in a squat, but just hopping from side to side, working on the cardio, using those legs, keeping the chest high, just trying to get our heart rate up with those movements. Second movement is going to, for that first movement, modification is always going to be just stepping and then maybe going down as low as you can here. So getting rid of the hop, but still maybe trying to add a bit of a single leg squat there. Next movement is going to be T push-ups. So what that's going to look like, we're going to come out wide with the hands to really target the chest here. Coming down, coming up, and when we come up, we're going to open up into a T position on each side. Modification, you can always go from your knees for that movement, or you can come against the wall here. Push against the wall, open up, push, open. Try to pick a modification that you can do for the entire 30 seconds. Next movement, bringing the heart rate back up. We're gonna do some burpees. So I always say this, it doesn't matter how pretty it looks, you're just getting on the ground and getting back up again. So coming down, ideally chest is touching the ground. It doesn't have to be in a push-up, but just chest touches the ground. Getting back up again, adding a little hop at the top. If you can't quite get on the ground, that's okay. We can just come back into a plank, then come up and either add that hop or just add a calf raise. And then our last movement is going to be a wall sit. So this is kind of going to be active recovery here. We're going to sit here, get the breath back. We want to try to get our knees 90-degree angle, ankles under the knees, really pushing through the heels. And we're going to hold for 30 seconds. So that's going to be where we kind of get our breath back. And then in between our abs, we have 3 different sets. So the first set, which we'll do after the first round, is going to be 30-second Superman and then a 30-second hollow hold. So the Superman, coming down, just trying to lift the arms and the legs as far as we can. The further your arms out, the more challenging it will be. Closer in, a little bit less challenging. And then the hollow holds, we have a few different options. So we can start out knees in, arms in, then you can drop the arms, maybe let one leg out, the other, both of them. Finally, hands overhead. The key here is you want to pick a modification that you can hold and that keeps your lower back on the ground. We don't want to have that lower back arching up. And then our second set of abs, which we'll do after our second round through, will be a 30-second side plank. So 30 seconds on each side, what that looks like. Again, you can always do jumping jacks right now if you feel like you're ready to get going. Do some jumping jacks, get that heart rate up, but side planks, coming up, trying to stay in between 2 panes of glass and just holding here. Modification, you can stack one foot in front of the other, one on top, or you can drop the bottom knee. But we'll do 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds on the other. And then our final set of abs will be a plank, just holding a plank for 1 minute. Okay, so this is more of our upper body cardio one. We have, again, 3 rounds, 30 seconds of each movement, but between each round, we are gonna do the corresponding abs. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So we're starting with the skaters for 30 seconds. Grab some water because we're ready to get going. In 3, 2, 1. Really challenge yourself. See if you can push yourself a little bit farther on each jump, but we're still landing nice and soft. We don't want to be crashing down, putting extra tension in the knees. Nice work. 5 seconds left. Then we're going straight into those T push-ups and transition. So because we don't have any rest here, you really want to be conscious of picking modifications and picking a speed that you can maintain. Today it's a little bit more about endurance than intensity or speed. It's still going to be a high intensity, but it's going to be more for endurance. And now burpees. "15 seconds, then we have our wall sit. Five. And transition. And just like the warm-up, trying to have quick transitions, going right into these movements. Halfway. Then we have our first set of abs, which will be the Superman and the hollow hold in 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Still Starting with that Superman. Really focus on using the glutes to get the lower body and the back to bring the upper body up. Halfway. Nice work, hold it here, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Transition for that hollow hold. And I'll give you the halfway point if you're doing one leg, so you can switch. But remember, we're keeping the shoulders down, keeping that lower back on the ground. And switch. And then starting back up the top with those skaters in 3, 2, 1. Right into it. Nice work, that's the first round down. Again, remember, keeping the chest high on these. We're making sure that the knee is going out, that it's not falling in. Less than 10 seconds left here. And switch for our 2 push-ups. Seconds left here. Then we go to our burpees. And burpees. Over halfway. Okay, and switch to that wall set. Nice, we're making sure you're putting the weight in the heels here, over halfway. And 3, 2, 1. Now we're transitioning to the floor. For some abs, we have our side planks here. Again, 30 seconds on one side, and then 30 seconds on the other. Halfway. Really making sure we're trying to fit our body between 2 panes of glass, getting these hips as high as we can. 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. After this, we're on our final round for this block. 10 seconds left. Then up into those skaters. Get those hips higher. In 3, 2, 1. Transition to those skaters. Nice work, halfway. And 3, 2, 1. T push-ups. Okay, and burpees. 2 more minutes, then we get a rest. 15 seconds here. And transition to our wall sit. Whew. Should be nice and warm now. Halfway. And then we have our 1 minute plank hold. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Transition. Okay, 1 minute right here. Try to hold it for as long as you can. If you have to, you can drop down to the knees. Push back for a second if you need to, but try to hold it for as much of this minute as you can. Really tucking the hips under, flexing through the glutes, through the quads, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. We're halfway. Keep breathing through this. We get a rest in 15 seconds. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Nice work. Okay. Take some water, stretch anything you need to, get your breath back. I'm going to go through our second block. This time we only have 3 movements and we're going to be doing them each for 1 minute. But it's still 3 rounds with those abs that we already did in between. So, I'm going to get my mat out. Again, this is optional. You don't need one. It is just up to you. But our first move is going to be lunges. Here we want to make sure that we're staring straight ahead, chest high, core engaged. We're going to step out and up, and then come back. We want to make sure that this knee is over the ankle. It's not coming forward or coming back. And we want to make sure that it's going to be in line with our foot. We don't want it to the side or in. So our first movement is going to be just lunges. Second movement is going to be jumping jacks. So we need a little bit of cardio in here. So just like we did for the warm up, have some jumping jacks. And then our last movement, oh, you guys have me so sweaty right now. Last movement is going to be bridge pulses. So we've done these before, but feet are going to be about where the fingertips are, about hips distance apart. We're going to engage the core, push through the heels, really squeezing those glutes and using the hamstrings. And we're just going to lower and raise. We're going to do this for the entire minute. You also have the option, if you don't want to add in the pulses, you can just hold at the top, just making sure that you're continually squeezing. If you start to feel it in the lower back, think about rotating the hips under. But those are going to be our 3 movements. 3 rounds, 1 minute for each movement, and in between each round, we have those abs that we did for the previous set. And then the big surprise after all this, we're going to start from the top with block 1, but we're going to get rid of the abs so it goes a little bit quicker. We're just going to move through the rounds, have a 1 minute break, move through the rounds of 2, and then we're done for the day. So let's go ahead and get started with those lunges in 3, 2, 1. I really think when you push back that we're pushing through the heel of this forward foot. We don't want to be pushing through the toes. It's going to be coming through the heels. Nice work. This block is also kind of our chance to get our breath back a little bit. so we can go into that first one. We're over halfway. And really think about too, using that glute on the forward leg to lower down and push off. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, jumping jacks. Either just find a pace here. Again, you can always just step the feet out. We're going to find a pace here that we can maintain for the entire minute. Halfway. Nice work. These are longer intervals, but you got it. 20 seconds left. 10. 3, 2, 1. Transition to those pulses. Just like the wall sits, this is gonna give us a time to get our breath back. Again, you can do these pulses as fast or as slow as you want. Just make sure that they're controlled and that you're really feeling the squeeze at the top. And we're never fully resting on the ground. We're just lowering down. Halfway. After this, we're going back to the abs. We have the 30-second Superman and then the 30-second hollow hold. 10 seconds. Nice work. And 3, 2, 1. Flip over for that Superman, just going right into it. And 3, 2, 1, flip it over. Again, I'll give you halfway if you're doing one leg and then the other. You want to think of it as your body is one board, switch. And if you were to push down on the legs or on the shoulders, that the whole body would rock with it. And 3, 2, 1. Coming up, we're back in those lunges. If you want to switch it up, maybe do reverse lunges here. So just starting at the top and stepping backwards. Principles still apply. We want to be pushing through the heel of this front foot to come up. Remember, we want to step on railroad tracks rather than a tightrope. So that means I'm stepping back and out when I come down. So we're halfway. Nice work. 15 seconds left. Then we're going to those jumping jacks. And 3, 2, 1. Move this out of the way. Into those jumping jacks. Just find a nice rhythm with your breath and with the movement of your arms and legs. This is one of those movements where you just have to keep chipping away at the time. Just keep moving. Try not to think about it too much. 30 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. Coming down for those bridge pulses. Nice work. After this, we have the side planks coming up, and then we have our last round before we take a little break and start all the way at the top with our first block. "15 seconds left. Nice work, you got it. And 3, 2, 1, flip over. We have our side plank here. Making sure that our shoulder is over the elbow here. We're already over halfway on this side. Three, 2, 1, flip over to the other side. Again, between 2 panes of glass, trying to get those hips as high as we can. Halfway done on this side. Then we're starting with those lunges for our last round. And 3, 2, 1, coming up. And I'll give you the halfway mark here if you want to switch from forward lunges to backwards or vice versa halfway through. And switch in 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. Jumping jacks. Nice work. Try to stay nice and tight through the core too, for the upper body. So we want to keep this all together. We don't want any floppiness in there. We're halfway. Nice work. 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bridge pulses. Get your breath back. We have our last ab movement of the day coming up. Because once we start at the top, we're not going to have those abs in there. We're just going to run through, really focus on getting that cardio in, moving quickly and efficiently here. Halfway. 10 seconds left. Then we're flipping it over for that plank. And switch. Okay, just like the first time, try to hold this plank for as much of the minute as you can. Remember to breathe here. We are going to get a little break after this one before we start at the top, but not much. We want to keep our heart rate up, really get our sweat on today. Okay, we're halfway. Nice work, keep pushing. Again, you can always drop to the knees for a few seconds if you need to, or push back into a downward dog, give those shoulders a break, but try to come right back into it. 15. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Now we are over halfway done with our workout today. We have 6 minutes with our first block, and then another 9 minutes with the second block. So we're taking a little bit of a rest here, and then starting at the top. Again, 3 rounds of skaters, T push-ups, burpees, and a wall sit, each for 30 seconds. Okay, we're going to take another 15 seconds, and then we're starting at the top with our skaters. Grab some more water if you need to. But we have 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1, skaters. Nice work. This is the time where you really have to dig. Over halfway. And 3, 2, 1. Transition to those push-ups. And if you want to, you can also change it up this time. We could do tricep push-ups, still opening up. So this time we're just going to bring the elbows against the sides if you would like. 10 seconds left. Then we have burpees. 3, 2, 1, burpees. Halfway. 3, 2, 1. Coming over for a wall sit. Seconds left. Starting at the top with the skaters. And 3, 2, 1. Coming right into it. Maybe giving a little shake, but trying to transition as fast as we can. This is a bit of a chipper we have today. It's one of those workouts where you just have to keep moving. You just have to get through it, and the only way to do that is to keep moving. And push-ups. Less than 10 seconds. Then we have our burpees. And Over halfway. Three, two, one. Transition. Halfway. And then right back at the top for our last round of this block. For real this time. 3, 2, 1. Last 30 seconds of skaters. Halfway. And push-ups. Halfway. And 3, 2, 1. Burpees. Over halfway. Okay, and transition. Last movement of this block. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Grab some water. We're gonna take a rest here. About a minute. And I've also decided that for this next block, I'm gonna cut down the time, so we're only gonna do each movement for 30 seconds. We still have those 3 rounds, but then at the very end, we're gonna do a little minute ab finisher, just to really round out this full body workout today. So, starting with those lunges in 10 seconds. Again, we're only doing 30 seconds now. We have lunges, jumping jacks, and bridge pulses. And go. Oh. Nice work. Keep pushing here, over halfway. Jumping jacks in 3, 2, 1. Come on, halfway. And 3, 2, 1. Bridge pulses. Fifteen seconds left. the top with those lunges. And 3, 2, 1, coming back up. Three, 2, 1, jumping jacks. Halfway. And 3, 2, 1, coming down, bridge pulses. Ten seconds left. Then we're starting our last round. And up. Last round, here we go. Just keep moving through this. We have 10 seconds left. Three, 2, 1, jumping jacks. Go less than 1 minute of movement. Try to keep moving for the entire time. Over halfway. And 3, 2, 1, coming down. Nice work, 5 seconds left, you got it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm just gonna put this mat down and then we're doing our 1 minute ab finisher, starting in 20 seconds. We're gonna go with some crunches and some painful penguins. So we wanna start kind of like in our bridge position. That's where our feet are gonna be for this entire time, really making sure we're engaged in the core. And go. Crunches, just bringing the chest up. We're not curling down, we're bringing it up. You can have the hands on the ground, over your chest, for just 30 seconds here. Nice work. 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. Now, engaging the core, painful penguins, trying to keep those shoulder blades off the ground. Using the obliques to go side to side. Nice work. 15 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice work today. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Mackenzie, and we just did a full body interval workout. Make sure you get a good stretch in, drink a lot of water, and I hope to see you again next week.